Hello.
Hello.
I'm going to accept the co-host invite.
Yeah, let me see.
And then, yeah, my last space I didn't record because I knew I didn't want to record it. But for
This
this one,
one, yeah, we're gonna be recorded. We're gonna be live. So everyone here, they get to, enjoy like the pre-talk where we talk about how Venus, ate from whatever house is gonna be performing necromancy. Yep. Just be like, if you wonder how that one celebrity manages to keep reviving their career, which should have been dead years ago, decades ago, might have
they
10th,
might
8th
have
from their
their
Venus.
10th being 8th from Venus.
Yes. Which is like wild.
Welcome, everybody.
Yes, welcome to Retrograde Roulette. And even though a lot of things went direct, we still have a few planets in retrograde. Looks at Saturn.
How we do this is like, number one, it's recorded. But if you want us to take a look, if you have something that is 8th from Venus, we'll go into it. So similar to how I, in the last panel, used the moon as the ascendant, and similar to how in Vedic you can use different houses as the ascendant to read from there, we're going to use Venus as the ascendant for this one. And specifically, if you have something, maybe a lot, maybe a part, maybe a node, maybe a luminary, just any planet, 8th from where your Venus is, let us know if you think it's interesting and we'll talk about that. So for Cap specifically, 8th from his Venus is going to be Jupiter, right?
Yeah, it would be Jupiter sidereally. Yep.
Yeah, and then mine, 8th from my Venus is the 10th, which is Saturn, the South Node. And the logic is that anywhere that is 8th from your Venus is what you can resurrect from the dead. Because the myth goes that Venus has the power to bring the dead back to life. So, similarly, since the 8th is the house of longevity, 8 places away from yours is going to be something that you can revive if it has gone, or
Yeah, since the eighth house is, is from the first, and eighth house would be rejuvenation in that sense. So that's where that philosophy comes in for Venus.
where'd you get this philosophy from?
Eighth.
Was it from here?
It's well, eighth house being rejuvenation. That's from various traditions, but specifically Venus being eighth equals resurrection. That is part from the myth, and I know KRS did like a short video expounding upon that, just a tad.
Nice.
So, does anyone feel brave? Does anyone feel bold? Does anyone have anything eighth from their Venus? Hello, Jose. Hello there. How are you?
Hey, hello, Captastic. Hello, Revi. Hello, everyone. Yes, my Venus. So I'm gonna use tropical in this instance,
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
and my Venus being in the whole sign ninth house. Eight places from that Venus would be my Libra fourth house,
hmm
and resurrecting gardens, resurrecting fountains were something you've talked to me about yesterday in a space.
Okay, I'm curious. When it comes to family relationships, are you the mediator in that sense for where if it was someone else that could have been like, oh, this own sort of situation for where they're gonna be like, okay, here is the paperwork, I am done with you. But you got involved and you literally like brought that whole relationship that was dead on the table back to life.
That's so crazy you mentioned that because around age 16 is when I exiled myself from my stepfather and my mother due to really feeling really cold at the house. Like I didn't really
hmm
have anyone to talk to or anything. And I was
hmm
always the mediator before that as the eldest sibling. And the mediator when my stepfather and my mother would argue constantly. And so when I left, that absolutely destroyed my mother, and it was like unreal to her. And my stepfather kind of actually saw the kind of damage that was getting done. And beforehand, he was very ignorant, very
hmm
stubborn kind of individual. And yeah, so I moved in with my grandparents for a lot of my teen years up until 18. And so anyway, yeah, it's pretty interesting how it's like having to harmonize and bring justice into the home, into my own little privacy, and cultivating peace for myself and whenever I'm spending time alone.
Wonderful. But you mentioned that you did gardening as well. So are you the one to make your own compost or do you just go get that from an outsource?
Both.
Jose's got an interesting situation tropically.
hmm
So
Very.
his Venus is going to be in Pisces tropically. 8th from that is going to be Libra, which means that, there's no planet there, but Libra is ruled by Venus. So the 8th lord from your Venus is also itself.
And then don't forget, Jupiter is also conjunct Venus in this case. So Jupiter is also gonna be involved in this as well.
So if there was anything that died that you would bring back, it could be possible that it is yourself that you could bring back if you ever hit rock bottom.
Yes, most definitely. Venus has really come through for me, especially in the earlier parts of my shamanism practices of discovering the self and going deep within. Venus and Jupiter have always been there to accompany me and be like, it's all right to just essentially bring what's dark and what's hidden, and kind of, it's weird because I deal with it in like the more unconscious realm, sleep, or under different states of mind, and it's like very like unconsciously affects me. So when I'm like sober, it's like, oh, I worked through this, and I've tried to refine it and make it accessible to me, and that's why I don't like anything about myself to be unknown to myself. Like I know I like to be a self-aware, but sometimes I think I can be really blind about who I am in the world. And so Venus kind of helps me really just ease up a lot. Same with Jupiter there, and just kind of enjoy the more simpler pleasures and try, where my angular malefic and the sun could kind of be very supremely agitative and gritty and hard. Venus and Jupiter have always been there for me.
Jose, did you just accidentally step into the eighth house? You sound like you're in a subterranean like submarine over there a little bit. Like, come up back to the surface. Come towards like the ninth or like the 10th, preferably like 11th.
My bad. Is it still bad?
It kind of sort of, but we can work with it. Thank you so much for expounding on that.
Yeah, and I want people to feel free to open up about their own chart. So
Absolutely.
yeah, Sophie.
Hello, Sophie.
Sorry. I think the other person raised the hand first. Sorry. I didn't know how to take off this hand. How do I do that? Sorry.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Wait, so
Consider it
who?
like first come, first serve, and just informally just start talking, even if you don't have to like raise or anything like that. Because, it's not a classroom.
Okay, well, I did raise my hand first, so I'm gonna snatch in.
Mhm.
Um, I think I'm gonna go the Vedic approach to this one, typically, since I don't do that. My Venus is in Uttara Bhadra, and then my eighth from that is my spotty Lot of Spirit. Methinks.
Oh, so
I know
like
my
lot
Lot
of
of Spirit
spirit
is
is
eighth
the
from
lot
it, but I
where
just don't know the knock. Wait,
so
what?
if fortune is things that happen to you, the lot of spirit is things that you initiate. So if there was maybe for you it would be if you ever lost the drive to initiate stuff, you could probably bring it back from the dead. Maybe if you were burnt out, you could resurrect your motivation and then get it again.
You see, that happens.
Does it
Um,
actually?
somebody has to be my motivator.
Really?
And with the
What
career
house
I'm
is that?
so in my normal natal chart,
Yeah, in
my
your natal
Venus,
chart, what house is the eighth from your Venus?
okay, the 11th is the house. 11th is the eighth from my Venus.
Mm. This is very social and it's also very financial.
Yeah, because I think it just the biggest things that motivate me in life are the things that end up making me money, or I should say, the things that I need to do in life. My motivators then influence me to go do that because those reasons are my money, and especially with the career I have, because it is also in my 10th house if we're doing quarter house systems. With the career I have in terms of like music and dance and how strict that is and how burnt out you can get with the amount of practice and the amount of writing I can do, I do have to come up with my own motivators for that. And a lot of
The
the
11th is
times,
also like the rewards after work. So the reward after your work is the song.
yeah,
Do you already make money for writing music?
I did when I was younger, because I did release my albums, but then I took them down. Well, there's a whole complicated thing. First record label dropped me. Second one, that was a whole complicated thing. I ended up taking them down myself. Um, but I do. But right now, am I? No. Will I soon? Yes.
Have you tried, like, ever since that record label dropped you, have you tried a second time, or was that
Mm-hmm.
already the second time?
That I did a second time, and then I took them down.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So it really depends on what you consider the reward for your work. To keep it simple, we could just say that it's money, say that it's profit, say that it's cash.
But did I achieve those things? No. What happened was the first time around, like both times, yeah, I ended up making money, but it wasn't enough. it was honestly just pennies. And so I'm like, okay, great, moving on. Did that. I'm gonna do it again, but I have other priorities to do right now in my life. Um, and so other than that, no, I haven't tried again since then.
Since it is your part of spirit that is in this particular house, which is eighth from Venus, since that's a part that is stuff that you initiate, it's possible that your paycheck, your rewards for your work, and the wishes of other people, and your art won't. It'll be crickets. It'll be nothing unless you take initiative and try to bring it back again.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like is the vibe.
Yeah, definitely.
Since the 11th is also fifth from other people, this sounds to me like if somebody who isn't you used to express themselves freely and then suddenly stopped for some reason, maybe them expressing themselves to you had died. You could probably reignite that just by being there, just by showing up. If somebody went quiet, went radio silent, you could probably bring them back.
Yeah, I do seem to be the one to do that, especially since a lot of people feel comfortable to me to be their therapist without payment. Um, yeah, with around me, a lot of people just feel comfortable to rant, even though I need you to do that 20 feet away from me.
You mean they never offer? Have you ever asked them? Because if your part of spirit is in the 11th, it could be possible that you should just ask because they won't offer.
Well, ask about what?
Pay me. Yeah.
No, like I tweeted. You saw the tweet last night. I said I'm gonna start charging y'all if you're gonna rant around me or to me. I'm like I don't ask. I stopped doing that many years ago. Cause what makes you feel so comfortable to do that? I want to know. And what makes you think I'm comfortable with it? And the thing is like, if I tell you to stop, I'm gonna end up making you cry.
That's a good question. Where is your Mercury again?
Denishta. Second house.
Okay, not to blame you, but I see that your seventh lord is in your second. So if they are ranting, if they're talking a lot, if they're being mercurial and they're throwing words, since their significator is literally in your hand, since the second house is your hand, maybe it's really up to you. Maybe
No, it's true because I'm really gonna start charging this payment just because you ranted me. Yeah.
I just realized that you have the lord of a death inflicting house inside of another death inflicting house. You have like the seventh lord in the second, which sounds a little bit brutal, a little bit deadly. But if you wanted to end things, if you wanted to close things, if you wanted to make things disappear, you probably could.
No, it's honestly true, and that's why I'm really careful with what I say because I know if I say something that's off the rocks, something bad is really gonna happen. And since it is derived eighth from 11th, and I know eighth is very metaphorical death, I don't want actual death to happen and be blamed for it. No, I can't have that happen. That's why I'm just like really quiet because I know some things I say will be really impactful.
I would say as a side hustle, like you know how people are uncomfortable with like ending things like friendships, business partnerships, emails, everything else like that, and they're scared. You could probably literally just do a service with like, oh, I'll end that whole relationship for you. You just
And
give me the
it's true.
details, and it's like there.
No, because my friends are like, I need to tell him, or I gotta break up with him, or
Maybe
this,
that
that,
is
and I'm like, I'll
possible.
do it.
In your chart, is the 10th lord inside your second?
What's my 10th in Vedic? Yeah, Mercury. Yeah.
Self-employed.
I am self-employed. Matter of fact, in terms of tropical, the ruler of my 10th is in my 4th. I'm self-employed and I work at home.
And since the second house is the house of, your upbringing, your early childhood, it's also possible that if you're not self-employed, you also work for the family business, if there even is one.
The family business is the lineage of musicians. That is literally just me and my grandpa.
Aww.
So there's that.
10 from 10.
Yeah.
10 from 10 is in your second. The significator of your grandmother is in your second house.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to drink water. Makes me wonder, I've never heard any of your family speak. I wonder if people tell you that you either look like your grandpa, or you sound like your grandpa, or you talk like your grandpa.
Okay, do I look like him? Yeah, the genetics go through, but I look a lot like my mom, and I don't see how she looks like either of her parents. Same with my uncle, but they look like each other. I digress. My grandma always says my shoulders, like I'm built like my grandpa, like just the shoulders I have, and then there's a lot of features that are specifically through my grandpa side of the family. So a lot of my beauty marks, a lot of my moles, and the placements solely from his side of the family. Do I sound like him? No, the thing is, Me talking to y'all can kind of guess my voice is a bit softer, quieter. I don't feel like talking this loud all the time because this is my natural volume. Like I can get up there, but that's just so uncomfortable to me. He, however, will get up there just naturally, and I don't think he knows how to whisper.
Oh.
That is
What was the question?
that is such a good phrase.
Hello, Lit. I can hear you in the 12th house over there.
Oh,
Dude,
Lit.
I can hear the entities coming to claim your flesh. We
Yeah,
are
Lit. I'm
gonna be
gonna.
very, very happy that you finally transcended this human existence. It's
Every
really,
time you
really
unmute
raggedy
yourself,
here.
it's really loud.
Yes, very loud. But we support you in your transcendence from the human existence. We love you, Lit. But thank you so much, Joe, for sharing all that about Venus in the eighth
Yeah,
from
I
your
don't know why I
chart.
had so much to say about that. Like, I just noticed that you have your 10th Lord in your second, and it makes perfect sense that the paternal family, the father side of the family, is what you look like the most, since
No,
the
my
second
mom's
house
side.
can also be your
Oh, your
mom's
mom's side.
side.
With
Which is
glasses
weird
on.
because
That's what
your
my
fourth.
father looks like if I have glasses on in my profile picture. But I look like my mom.
Hmm.
Oh,
But you
wait,
gotta
are
remember,
you like
sometimes they're gonna switch. Go
are you
ahead.
a Purvashada ascendant? Are you a, is your ascendant Lord Jupiter?
Yeah, I'm Purvashada.
Ooh, and then that's going to be in your seventh house.
Mm-hmm.
If your mother is the fourth from fourth is going to be the seventh. So, yeah, okay, I see that. Facial features looking like the mother's family.
Sophie, are you ready for us to look at your chart? Or did you have a question?
Yay. Yeah, exactly. Well, first of all, I'm so thankful for all the panel and the talks I've been listening to the whole evening have been super awesome. I'm super happy.
And we're super
And
thankful to have you listening. Absolutely. Feeling mutual feelings,
listening
mutual
all
feelings.
listen to you guys all the way from South America. So yeah, sorry if my my accent
Wow.
Love
pronunciation is
it.
kind of weird. Yeah. So I was really shocked when Jose started to talk because I also have Venus and Jupiter in Pisces. My third, in my the eighth from that will be my 10th will be the Libra, and yeah, the kind of the way that I do my job, it's kind of like everybody in my family doesn't believe what I do for a living. So because in here in my country at least, graphic design is very looked down upon. So kind of so maybe it's a good time to resurrect that through the whole these Piscean energy, so to say.
So, which house was your Venus in? If I may,
Third, my third, along with my Jupiter.
3, 9, 10. Oh, very professional.
Yeah.
Huh. Oh, you're like Jose. You have that Venus Jupiter conjunction.
Yep, just different houses, different ascendant. Yeah.
I'm also curious since it's gonna be involving the 10. Like when it comes to situations that happen in public, are you the one people go to like make a situation that looks like it's gonna be like a dead disaster? It's like it is gonna be a plane crash. There are gonna be no survivors. To like, oh, we got Sophie in here. Sophie is going to Sophie, and everything is gonna be okay. And everything is okay
Yeah,
because you're
kind of.
there.
I thought that was my Capricorn ascendant along my Aries sun, that I have this cardinal vibe that I go for things. We do not fear, y'all. We're gonna make it through, and that kind of vibe. But maybe it's more about Venus. I don't know.
It can be more than one thing. Absolutely. That combination is a get done combination. Squash.
Yeah. Thank you. I guess I cannot stand still. Like I really can't. I really try, but I can't.
Very similar to a previous chart that we had read earlier today. You have
Oh,
that thing
really?
where you've got Venus being in the third, right? I'm assuming that it's going to be in Pisces. Venus in Pisces, the eighth from that area is going to be Libra, meaning that the Lord of Libra is going to be Venus. So it's almost as if there's anything that Venus is going to resurrect, it's going to be Venus itself. So
Oh,
you might be
nice.
also one of those people who, if you were also burnt out, you could probably bring yourself back from the dead.
Yeah, and also that I have like a way I tend to do that. Yes, I'm gonna say yes to that because it's really really true. And my moon is also in Scorpio, so I kind of analyze everything and try to take the best out of something because I cannot stand still. I cannot stay down for a long while. I have to understand why it happened. I have to keep moving, and yeah, I kind of do it by myself. Like, well, people say things and they give you advice and things like that, but I feel like if I don't do the cheerleading talk with myself, I cannot. I won't stand again.
Interesting that you have this dependence on other people. It makes me want to ask, since your seventh lord is probably the moon, where's your moon?
My moon is my 11th. Now that you say about the
Oh.
community and things, oh gosh. Oh my gosh.
7th Lord in 11.
Yep.
You're gonna find your spouse at work.
Sorry,
Or
what?
or community project or something. Like if you got into the same
Or
organization,
maybe
there's
work
like
is just how you find friends. Period.
really networking in that case. And it could also be internet too. In that
I'm
sense.
super shocked. I'm super shocked about that because now, like, thank you for connecting the dots because I'm currently finishing college and my thesis has to be about something design related, and I'm about to design the identity of a school. So I went very far away from home, and this school is super awesome, and this community loves me, and I love them, and it's been super refreshing. So yeah, I felt a spark that I wasn't feeling like for this whole year. It was amazing.
Love that. Nice.
Hi guys, what's a retrograde roulette? Is it just like,
Hey, yo, what up? Do you like
hey,
the
what's a
name?
retrograde
Do you like
roulette?
the? Oh, what we are talking about right now is how the 8th place from Venus is things that you can bring back to life.
Yes, indeed. And we heard so far people are bringing back family relationships, gardens, public images. It's just like, look, we just need to get Jose and Sophie to make sure the next band we get together stays together. None of this whole one gets a big ego and just kills everything else to go run off their solo career that burns to the ground.
That's me. Regarding how well Sophie does in school, I feel like it's going to have to do with her 9th Lord, which, if I'm not mistaken, is going to be the Sun. It's either the Sun or Mercury.
It's also
I'm sorry.
interesting. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, please go.
No, go ahead. Finish your thought, Sophie. Like, here.
I saw that Riva. Sorry, I'm not saying that name correctly. I'm sorry. Riva Ravi said something about the ninth house.
Yeah, since you mentioned that you're going back to school, depending on the health of
Oh,
the 9th Lord, which I think is going to be Mercury or Sun for you, that's going to determine how well you do in school.
oh, well, that's cool. Well, my sun and my Mercury are both in Aries in the fourth, so yeah, and my ninth house is empty. I think my midheaven is in there, using the whole signs tropical system.
9th Lord in 4th.
Interesting.
Sounds like
Ooh.
online school.
Yeah, that could be one way you could like show up,
Sounds
or
like
just
remote learning.
basically, yeah, absolutely. Like, oh, here, this gonna bring up like Khan Academy over here, or maybe it's just like, oh, doing a certification. It's like, here's the online course. Here you go. In like 6 months, you should be done. Because there's a lot of those out
I
here
really,
now.
I really wanted to do that. Like the only reason I'm in college, where in my country is kind of easy to get into college, so it's really different from any other part of the world, I think. So I really want just that piece of paper to get a scholarship or something like that. But I swear to God, I could just take any domestica kind of course and just go with it, and it will be good. I really hope I could do that with college, but I just can't in here.
Well, I mean, don't you have both benefics in your 3rd, and the 3rd house is the house of the self-efforts and the willpower? Surely,
Yes.
with both benefics in there, you could probably do it. If you wanted to self-teach, if you wanted to self-study, you could probably do it, like, actually follow through on it, finish it, and do it gracefully.
Oh, nice. Thank you for that.
Look, they're
I
probably gonna
really
be asking
appreciate
you
everything.
later afterwards, like, how did you do it? I need you to make like a guide or like a webinar on how you just managed to make the self-teach taught thing like work so easy for you. Because you look like you were not struggling at all. And you're gonna be running to people out here saying that, oh, struggling out here to just get through that whole thing.
Actually,
So,
speaking of professional pursuits, I
mhm.
don't see you more as a teacher. I do see you as somebody who would probably go into business by yourself, since the 3rd house is where your 10th Lord is. And it's also what comes from your hands. So if your hands are the 2nd house, the second from the 2nd is the 3rd. So, like, the results. So if you started a business, that's probably how you're going to end up building your repute. Maybe instead of like doing it under an institution or with a partner or even with employees under you, it'll probably be
It's
by yourself,
amazing.
like a
It's amazing that
solo
that you say
agent.
that because that's exactly what I think. That here, at least, graphic design is a lot about practice and about like real life experience. And people who open their studios are people who know how to do the things by themselves, and they more than almost anyone. Like no one ended college; they all just went with it, and they did amazing. And I was thinking about doing that too.
I heard of that,
So,
and that's not just a graphic design thing. That's in
oh
multiple
really?
disciplines. That is a thing where, like, often people will go to certain colleges that specialize in a design aspect. They will have the students there for like a year, but they'll get so good at that school that studios will just hire them while they're still in school because they don't care
That
about the
happened
paper;
to
they
me.
care about the portfolio. Really?
Oh gosh.
You got hired?
Yeah. I mean, in here, graphic design. It's a 4-year course to say career. Mm, Oh, that I don't know the word. Sorry. And 3 years ago, in my first year of college, I already got hired because of a portfolio I did. Like I wanted to do the design, the logo, the identity, the whole identity of an event. And I just went with it because I really wanted to do it. And I just looked for things on YouTube and learned by myself. Eventually, the event went amazing. I added all the things to my portfolio and I got hired by a studio thanks to that. So, yeah, I've been working for 3 years and studying for 4. So, yeah,
Nice.
Interesting.
it's amazing that you guys say this because I'm shocked. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm
Yeah,
truly
thank you so
appreciate
much for
everything.
sharing again. Like, really appreciate it. And speaking of work, just reminded me that, oh, since we mentioned earlier that eighth from my Venus is my sixth house, as Jupiter there. I just need to talk about
Hmm.
how literally one of my jobs I love very, very much. I cherish the memories overall, but the fact that I kept that job on life support for like multiple like months, like no, it's more than months, like years. So
After
basically,
you
I was
left,
like
did it crumble?
so yeah, actually, literally, the time that was leaving, my boss was telling me that she's gonna be done running it. She doesn't know who's gonna take it over, but she was done because they're like moving the job location like again, and like we had multiple moves throughout 2 years, and each location usually made less sense than the previous one. And it went from when I started the job, there was like 4 employees. They were fine. Like someone could just not be there and it would be covered. To where literally there was like 3 months where I was like the only one that was like a that was an actual employee there that could actually do things. And even after we managed to get another employee, which usually was my efforts, is bringing someone in there. It'd be like, oh, there'd be something going on, and still was the most reliable and consistent one throughout like the whole process. Even when it's like, I'm literally gonna be doing this other organization thing. Still, I somehow managed to not only be like the employee, just to be like the lifeline, but still like to keep that thing from being like closed. Like even got like whole employment like some like perks and benefits that I was not really getting beforehand. So, but then it's like I have Jupiter in the sixth as well, so that colors it a little. But yes, I literally kept that thing from like dying for like years, and as soon as I like had no more influences, just like the last like I didn't even get like an email because like the last employee I trained messaged me saying, "Oh, yeah, we moved over here and da da da," and this sounds nice, but I have not
Hmm.
heard from them since. I'm just remembering all those times. I
If
just
this is
was just
true, if this
literally
is how
me.
it works,
Go
if
ahead.
it's true that the eighth from Venus is something that you can bring back after it's long gone, after you left that job, do you think you could do it again
Oh, I
somewhere else?
absolutely know I could do it again, and it's like also because I like did some work there, had a certain position over there in that like college. If I go back there, there could be a high chance that I could just basically take over that whole thing. And if it's been like dead for like a year or two, literally like revive it. So there you go. From my Venus, my sixth house. Why it couldn't be the second? I'll just let it be. I'll take six. As if I have a choice. But yes. Is there anyone else that would like to come up and talk about their Venus and anything eighth from it or derivative houses in general? Don't feel shy. Come step right up, step right up. Hello there. Welcome. Aries. How you doing?
Hello.
Is it actually Aries? Oh, hey there.
Hi, how are you?
Oh, we are doing wonderful. Happy Venus Kazemi. How are you doing?
I'm not bad. Thanks for asking.
So, which house is your Venus in? And do you have anything in the house like 8 spaces away from it? Like, where's your Venus, first of all?
Yeah, it's in the fourth whole sign.
Okay, it's in the fourth. So, what do you have in your 11th house, if anything?
Um, Uranus and Neptune.
Oh, ooh.
Oh,
Oh,
outer
this is gonna
planets.
be, oh, this is gonna be interesting. Okay, so what is your fourth house cusp and what planet rules it? What,
Cancer, the moon, in
and
Scorpio.
where's your moon? Where's
Yeah.
your moon? Okay. Wait, Cancer. Oh, you have your moon in Scorpio and eighth?
Yeah, I'm an Aries rising.
Oh, same here. Well, nice. Interesting. Okay, so you got the fourth house ruled by moon and Scorpio in eighth. And let's see, Venus in Cancer. Is it trine your moon
Yes.
as well? Oh, nice. Let's see. So I'm gonna go, and it's gonna be the very, very out of the box types, I'll describe them. Like they could be spiritual or artistic, or they could be a bit more quirky, futuristic. They could be countercultural.
Mhm.
Those types of people, if they are dealing with issues on feeling like outsiders or feeling like like not like welcome. Basically, you come into the picture and they're just like, oh, you make this place feel like home, or I feel accepted or welcome here. Like this is a tribe. Like
Mhm.
with anyone else they try that, they might have issues, but if you're involved and they send you in there, you pretty much create that space for them and boom. It could be the person out here who has the most out there and fringe views could be a very, very extreme, but you can
Mhm.
make them feel like they are just like everyone else here and welcome in the tribe, no matter how different they are. Does that match up?
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Absolutely.
Oh, you want to go into a little bit more detail? Go right ahead.
Um,
Hmm.
wait, hold on. I have to leave for a sec.
Oh,
Thank you so much, though. That like it was like eerily
Yeah, don't
scary.
worry about it.
oh, it's fine. It's fine. Thank you for just dropping by and like offering your chart. Happy to
Yeah,
have you. Hmm.
I'll be back
Yeah, no
though.
worries, because we've
Thanks.
got like 13 minutes left for us. So let's spend that 13 minutes with just like rapid fire Q&A.
Yep, rapid fire Q&A. Here you go. Here you go. Please do not
Okay.
ask for our area codes or social security or anything else like that. Like, we are
Cap,
friendly, but
what's your
listen.
mother's maiden name?
So my mother's maiden name is Nanyo, as in none your business. All right, Celeste, hello there. Question.
Hey, yeah. I was wondering, I have Pluto on the 12th,
Mhm.
um, 8 houses away from Venus, and I was wondering what that means.
Hmm. Okay,
Okay,
so
so which
Mm.
house is the sign of Scorpio inside your chart?
12th, right?
So
Yeah,
Pluto is inside its own sign. Does that mean Pluto is domicile?
Pluto's in Sagittarius.
So
I'm
it's
saying,
Placidus. Mhm. So then
All
Pluto would
right.
be in first whole sign, but yeah, we're gonna go work. We can work with Placidus. We can be spicy like that.
or we could
So
do
I'm
it.
going to assume that the 12th Lord is ruled by Pluto. Am I correct?
You can say Mars too.
Well, it's Pluto that's eighth from Venus. So I'm working with that modern rulership. So I
I
can
would
hold it in
say
my hand and do stuff with it.
you can just throw Mars and Pluto together. That way,
Are Mars and Pluto conjunct in this chart?
no, it's in like ruling both the house.
Oh yeah, I already
All right.
assumed that. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
assuming that if the eighth place from Venus is what you can resurrect, and for this particular chart, that area is occupied by Pluto, and Pluto rules this person's 12th.
Mm-hmm.
If this person ever runs out of alone time, if this person ever runs out of a sense of scale, a sense of perspective, they can reignite that sense of perspective. They can reignite that sense of vastness, or they can get their alone time back by virtue of their alone time's ruler being eighth from Venus. So it's also possible that it could be negative as well. It could also be that if things were settled, if things were put to rest, you might be able to start talking about them again. I don't know. What do you think, Kat?
It's like since it's Pluto, it could be getting to the depths of things and getting to the core things, like underground associations with that, like dealing with oil, hidden treasure, and that stuff, and also depth, like under the surface. So that could work. And at the same time, since it has a connection with Scorpio and everything else as a sign, even though it's in Sag, still there's gonna be like a little bit of rejuvenation aspect involved as well. So could absolutely say that would be able to revive. And it could not just be for herself, it could just be for anyone that's like involved by her Venus. This basically to just cause that whole rejuvenation aspect. So if it wasn't fully resolved correctly, it could just like bring it back so it can be like healed properly.
Okay.
Or more like, oh, okay, he is gonna be like buried in subconscious. Can just blow that up here. Oh, here it is. Now we can finally settle this thing and put it to rest properly. Make
Cool.
sense?
Yeah, it does. Thank you.
Welcome. All right. Any other questions?
No, thank
Don't.
you guys.
Hmm. All right. Anyone else gonna talk, or am I just basically gonna be telling Revy to use her Venus to resurrect things for me?
I don't know how relevant that'll be. I mean, the eighth place from my Venus is the 10th. So perhaps if I ever quit or get fired, I could probably go back to the old job or the previous employer. Or I could
Okay.
gain contact with the previous employer once again. Or maybe for like things such as this. The thing about my 10th is that it's already pretty morose and pretty grim. The South Node is there, Saturn is there, so things are already dead. I don't think they were alive to begin with.
Not your bosses being zombies, Revy. When are you gonna reveal this whole thing to
You know
us?
what's strange? My bosses are always like very well dressed women. It's very Mina Arashi of them. They're always like these. I don't have their birth time, of course, but I do know that they often have luminaries in either Uttara, Bhadrapada, or Mina.
Ooh. Hello there, Bonnie. Welcome.
Hi,
Oh,
hi.
Vani.
Yes, Bonnie. So what is eight? What is your Venus? What house is it in? And what is eight from your what's in your eight house away from your Venus?
Oh, my Venus is in the 12th in Libra, and
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the spouse.
the spouse. And
Eighth from Venus is the spouse.
Yep, seventh house. What's in your seventh?
it's Taurus. I guess Chiron is there.
Okay, now
So
that begs the question: if the eighth from your Venus is the seventh, and the eighth from Venus is what you bring back to life, have you ever gotten back into an old relationship that you had ended previously?
No, never.
I see. Or do
I'm
people come back and beg for you again?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I see. So the our logic is that the eight places away from Venus is what can come back to life again. Interesting how for you it seems to be partners.
But it's more like when things end and they wanna, well, they want me back, but only for a short time. But maybe it's more so because when I end things, I just end them. Like especially if the relationship, like if I ended it and I don't want anything to do with them, they won't have any access to me anymore. So I don't even know what they're doing. But if
It's
it's
just like they're ghosts to you and you don't talk to ghosts no more. So it's like they're gone, they are gone.
yeah, what is this here? What? Well, I wasn't following KazimiCon. Oh my god, I'm so embarrassed. I was so sure I was.
Don't worry, we won't tell Kazemi Khan, so Kazemi Khan will go cry.
That is so weird. I don't understand. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, no. And if the relationship ended like amicable, then we just go both our ways, I guess. I don't know.
It just makes me think that if any of Bonnie's like business partners or like actual like romantic partners, serious ones at that, and rivals too, like anyone significated in her seventh, that if they were having like a medical emergency, that she could probably be the one that to bring them literally back to life. Here you go, CPR, you are living again. Which is, intends. We hope that you don't have to do that, but at the same time, it's like, don't be surprised. It was like, oh, they just be over here talking about you, saying, oh, so about like one of the five times Bonnie saved my life, literally.
5 times.
Let me let me be hyperbolic, but at the same time, I wouldn't doubt her power.
I don't think I've ever saved anyone's life, at least not like acutely.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think we could do the eighth from all the rest of the planets, or is it just Venus who has the power to bring things back?
I
It would make sense
know.
if it was just Venus.
Yeah, it makes sense. I think it's literally just going to be mostly tied to like, the mythology, correlated with the planet and everything. Because I know KRS also did a video on eighth from Saturn, which was interesting. I don't remember what it was, but oh, hello there, AK. Hello, hello. Welcome,
Hey
welcome.
If the
guys.
lovely people don't have
Yeah,
access to KRS, where might they find more information about this technique, you think?
I would. I don't have any doshish writing that I could just automatically say off the top of my head would absolutely cover this topic.
Mm,
But you know, could get back to me because I can just go, talk to my sources, talk to your sources, and we can absolutely get some resources out for like, okay, here are the
Get
people.
back to you.
Yep, absolutely. So we're going to have to depend on Venus to go ahead.
How would we get back to you if we were curious after this?
Let's see. Well, you can contact me at my handle on Twitter. It is Captastic Stud, and your handle on Twitter.
That's going to be at Revati Stan, Revati Stan. But I usually privatize my Twitter account after events like this. So after KazimiCon, I will be back to private. But until then, I'll be happy to answer anybody's private messages if you have any questions, because I like talking about this stuff.
So yeah, basically, I'm gonna be y'all's lifeline. So y'all gonna have to be like, okay, Kat, remember the whole 8th house Venus resurrection thing? Can you give us the sources on that, please? And I'll just be like, okay.
Yes. What are your sources for this technique or theory?
Oh, don't worry. We're going to actually go get the fine-tooth comb so you don't get, the cute little articles on Google. No, we're actually going to be going through some stuff. We're going to be giving you some books, and we're going to be telling you, like, here's the author here, here's their certifications, and this is why we're actually paying them attention.
Okay, I have an idea. I have a bunch of PDFs that are tangentially related to the subject. I'll come through them. I'll find something related to this technique, and then if you want, I'll just post it as a tweet, like a link to my Google Drive, and then you can download them and read more.
Yes, absolutely. Sounds like a plan. So thank you, everyone, for showing up to this Retrograde Roulette episode. We really, really loved having you all. And we're going to see y'all later.
Bye, guys.
Thank you all for coming. Bye.